Welcome to this session today. And today I'm going to share with you about what is integrative case taking and uh, what are the various arts and skills that are needed during case taking, and what are we going to learn during this seminar that we have on 9th and 10th of September. So let me start by taking three very common scenarios that come to us in practice. The first scenario is, patient gives me too many symptoms and I don't know what to do. Second is, I think I have taken a very good case. I see that um, mm, I have the cause of the complaint, I have modalities, I have concomitants, I have the various symptomatology, everything I have. But it seems that I don't find what is characteristic over here. I seem to have all information, but I don't know what is characteristic here. And the third scenario is patient does not give any symptoms. I don't know what to do. So I will explain the art and skill that is needed in each of these scenarios with some case examples, right? So the first is the patient has too many symptoms. He's giving a lot of symptoms and I don't know what to do. So let me give you an example. So this is a case of a 45, 50-year old man who comes with complaints of breathlessness at night. Hmm? Then he says, I am not breathless during the day. I am working in the farm all day, and while I am working, I feel everything is good, no problem while I'm at farm. But when I come home for lunch or after my lunch, when I sit down, then again I start feeling I'm breathless. Then I go back to work, everything seems to be okay. Then evening again it begins, and then in evening. Uh, in evening what happens is that all night I'm having complaints, I'm having aggravation of complaints, and till I am walking around, till I am pacing around, till I am working, I'm okay. But as soon as I rest or as soon as I go to sleep, I have complaints. When I'm sitting down, I have complaints. So if I sit, if I sleep, if I lie down, I am having complaints. So now, when we look at all these symptoms given by the patient, which of these symptoms should I take? Should I take aggravated during night, or should I take aggravated after lunch? Should I take ameliorated during day? Should I take aggravated sitting down, aggravated sleep, aggravated rest, ameliorated busy, ameliorated walking? There are so many, and I really don't know which is the exact symptom that I should pick from the patient's symptomatology. So when we have such plethora of symptoms and we don't know which one to choose now from this, that is when case taking becomes very important, because during case taking we will know which one is the most important symptom here, and how to identify that we can identify if we are observant, if we observe clearly how is this patient describing the complaints and where is the intensity while he is describing the complaints, whether it is when he talks about busy, or whether when he talks about sleep, whether when he talks about breathlessness, when is it. Now intensity we will be able to catch by a facial gesture or a hand gesture or raise in voice, or patient starts to weep with that particular symptom, or patient starts to talk very strongly about that symptom. That kind of energy we have to observe. So I was trying to observe, where is the energy in this patient. He's giving me so many symptoms. Where is the energy? Is it in the breathlessness? When does his voice change? When does he give me a hand gesture? What is happening? Where is it? So I'm observing his body language, whole head to toe. I'm observing. So I'm not able to make any connection between any word and any hand gesture, anything. And then I observed that while he's talking, one thing that he's constantly doing is he's moving his feet, just moving his feet like that. So I said, why are you moving your feet so much? So he says, that's my problem. I'm always restless, restless. I am told that you will take a case for 1 hour, and I can't sit in one place for 1 hour. I cannot sit. It's too much for me. I'm too restless. I'll have to walk about, move about. If I'm walking, moving, I'm okay. If I'm not, then my complaints begin, and that's what my problem is. All day when I'm in the farm, I'm okay, but in the evening, I'm resting, and all my complaints begin. So there are two things here. First is, we know that the most important thing is the intensity is in the restless feet, in the restless legs, and the restlessness is the most important complaint, rather than busy or um, aggravated rest. The most important symptom is restlessness. He can't rest in any place, and restlessness especially in the feet. So that is what is the symptom here, and this patient was not telling that symptom. We would have taken all these modalities and repertorized the case, and we would never have reached the remedy if we would have just taken the symptoms on their face value. This is how, by observing during case taking, we will know exactly which is that symptom that has to be picked up. I know many of you will know this remedy. Restless feet um, is especially a symptom of zincum metallicum. So I'm not going to go into details of why I chose zincum metallicum only and all other remedies, but my main focus is case taking. So this patient got the remedy zincum metallicum based on this. So this is the first skill, to observe when you have so many symptoms, to observe where exactly is the focus in the patient's description, where is the intensity, where is the mm, energy. And when we focus there, then we get the exact, accurate, characteristic keynote symptom, right? So let us move on to the next scenario. So the next scenario is, patient, I feel that patient has given me all symptoms, but I don't see any characteristic symptom here. So this is a case. Let's again learn this through a case. So this is a case of a middle-aged woman, 30-year-old woman, who complains with cough, which especially started after she had ice cream. Then she said that when I have this bout of cough, I have pain in throat with suffocation, and I have change in my voice. Then the bout is so intense that I start feeling suffocated, breathless. I feel my heart is going to stop. I feel there are intense palpitations. I think something is going to happen. Will something happen to me now? So I'm feeling anxious about what will happen. And this bout of cough is especially aggravated during mornings, and when I have cold air drinks, or when I am exposed to cold air. And it is better if I have warm drinks. Now, in this case, I had a cause, that is cold cold drinks or ice creams. I had modalities: cold aggravates, warmth ameliorates, morning aggravates. Then I have mind symptoms, anxiety, palpitations. Then I have suffocation, change in voice. So I feel I have all the symptoms here. And I did prescribe some remedies to her. I prescribed spongia, prescribed Hiparsulf, and things did not help her. These remedies did not help her, and I didn't know what to do. I felt I have all the symptoms. I have cause, I have modalities, I have symptoms. There are no concomitants, no change in physical generals of thirst, thermals, etc. So I was really like, where do I focus now? What do I do in such cases? Hmm? So that is when what we have to learn is when we feel that we have all the symptoms, but we don't have a really characteristic symptom, then we have to try and focus and see where is, or we have to see where is the character, and we have to start characterizing all the symptoms. So maybe then I start thinking, maybe the cough is characteristic. So maybe it is a dry cough, maybe the cough which has only one bout, two bout, or cough which is coming from the stomach. So maybe that characterization of cough I have not done. So maybe I should ask about that cough. Maybe I should ask about this suffocation. How is this suffocation? You said this anxiety, palpitation. Talk about that palpitation. What kind of anxiety? You said fear of dying. What is this fear of dying? Maybe mental symptoms are important. Huh? Maybe I should ask about cold air a little bit more. Maybe it is what kind of cold air. Maybe the pace is important. After how much time after this ice cream did you develop symptoms? Maybe the ice cream is important. That is the most characteristic symptom. Maybe it's not just cold drinks. Maybe specifically it is ice cream rather than any cold drinks. Maybe it is sweet and cold together that is aggravating. What to take? There are so many symptoms that I can take. Which one to take? Which one to focus on to know what is characteristic? So then at such a time, when you want to characterize and know what is characteristic, at such a time we have to ask the patient, tell me what is bothering you the most out of all these complaints that you have told. What is bothering you the most? So this patient says, what bothers me the most is the cough. That is bothering me the most. So I ask her, when is this cough the most intense? When is it the worst? She says it's the worst when I have the cough in the morning. So I said, what happens in the morning? At what time do you have cough? She says, I can't tell you the exact time, but it's there in the morning. Okay, what affects you in the morning? What triggers this cough? She says, I don't know. Okay, now we have again reached a dead end. We don't know what to do now. That is the time we have to know that this patient is telling us that the most intense complaint happens at this point, at this most intense point. So we have to now know that something is there here only, and I have to now find a way to go deep here and really know what is characteristic. So I said, forget everything else. Let me create the situations for the patient and see what exactly is bothering her in the morning. So I ask, when do you wake up in the morning? She says around 6 a.m. Ask, when you wake up, you have cough. She says no. Okay. After that, what do you do? After that, I have my bath. At that time, you have cough. No. After that, what do you do? I cook food. Acha, at that time, you have cough. No, I don't have. Okay. After that, what do you do? Then I go and bring water. I have to bring drinking water for my family, and that drinking water is available on the ground floor, and I live on the first floor. So I have to get this water, and when I get this water, I have cough. So I think, maybe it's again this. It's going the same way. Maybe she's getting exposed to the cold air in early morning, going down, or mm, it is because of touching water. Hmm? Like that I'm thinking. But I said, no, let the patient tell me what is really bothering. So I asked, what happens when you try and get water? So she says, when I try and get water, the problem is when I have to climb up the stairs, no, and bring that water. During that climbing of stairs, I start feeling suffocated. I start feeling, oh my god, I'm starting to feel breathless. And then my cough begins. So then I know the exact modality in this case is cough aggravated ascending stairs or climbing stairs. And then when I open Fatak's repertory, then I see that In Phatak's repertory, cough ascending stairs, in this rubric, the single remedy that is given is urgentum nitricum. And then suddenly we see urgentum nitricum has hoarseness of voice, urgentum nitricum is known for suffocation, and urgentum nitricum also is known for anxiety and palpitations and fear. Suddenly all symptoms start to fit in. I give urgentum nitricum and the patient improves. So this is the second important thing, that when you are wanting to characterize a symptom, then you have to ask the patient what is the most bothersome complaint and when is it bothering you the most? What is that area when it bothers to you the most? And then we have to use a detective like approach to really scan every single point in that area and know where exactly or what exactly is triggering the complaint. That is when we will get the characteristic symptom that suddenly will open up the whole case and the whole case becomes clear, right? So this is case number 2 or scenario number 2, where we feel we have all the symptoms but not finding characteristic symptom. The last scenario is we feel, this patient does not give any symptoms, she's not telling me anything. So, for example, I remember one case of a 45, 50-year old female who had a lump in her left breast. And this lump was big, it was having redness, burning, congestion, uh, and it was tender to touch. She had done a biopsy, and the biopsy said that it is not cancerous, but it is uh, uh, not cancerous also. It's a not very clear report. Please repeat this biopsy after 6 months. So then the patient gets anxious. Oh my God, do I have cancer? What is going to happen to me? What is going to happen to me? So that is when she came for homeopathy. Then I asked her, what are your symptoms? She said, that's it. That's all the symptoms I had. I don't have any symptoms. All this started just 20, 30 days back. I have this lump started. I had to sense it was red, burning. That's it, tender, no other symptom. I ask her mentally, how are you feeling? She says, I am feeling anxious. Oh my God, do I have cancer, etc. No, this seemed common, no? Patients will get anxious if they are going to be diagnosed of cancer. So I didn't know what to do. I asked her physical generals, thermals. Thermally, she said, I am hot, I feel hot. But I didn't feel like, I really got that characteristic symptom. Like we saw, no, in the ascending stairs or in the restlessness, I am not getting the characteristic symptom. So how do I find it? I'm thinking. So that is when I started to think to myself, how do I now look? Where do I look for characteristic symptom? So I I apply the first two techniques. I see where is the energy in the description. There's no energy. She's just plainly describing. I'm not able to see any significant change in her body language or anything. Okay, where is the? I asked her, what is bothering you the most? She says, the burning and lump. And I've asked her all the symptoms. When is it bothering? It's all the time. Sometimes it comes and goes. Now what do I do? I am not finding a way to really probe into. So that is when I started to think to myself, wow, in what way can I probe deeper? In what way? So then I thought maybe I should examine the patient. Let me just look at it. Then I examined, I thought maybe the lump will be hard, soft, maybe some pus, something I will observe. So I thought let's examine. And while examining, I thought, what do we examine? What are the things that we examine? We learn in surgery, we should inspect, we should palpate, we should auscultate, we should mm, percuss, and we should also look where is the extension, is the pains going anywhere. So then I do all this, and then I asked her, where does the pain extend anywhere? Does it go anywhere? She says, yeah, it goes into the axilla. I said, okay, what happens in your axilla? So she says, doctor, I always feel hot in my axilla. There is heat felt in my axilla. I said, what is this heat you're talking? No, she says, I have sweat, lot of sweat in my axilla. I said, can you talk a little bit more about your heat and sweat? Ah, doctor, I must tell you one thing. Just 6 months back, no, I got rid of this problem. I used to have a lot of sweat, profuse sweating. I used to apply talcum powders. I used to apply all kinds of things because I had so much sweat. I couldn't tolerate sun in any way. If I go out in the sun, then I will have profuse sweating. Heat I cannot tolerate. Then I will have headache. Then I will have burning urination. Then all kinds of complaints I will have. Then my sweat will be very offensive. I cannot tolerate. I took many treatments so that this sweat reduces, so that this heat reduces. And then, at last I was successful 6 months back. My sweat is not there. I don't feel that heat. Little bit I'm feeling now in the axilla, but otherwise now my sweat is gone. My heat is gone. I'm able to tolerate or go a little bit in the sun now. And then I said, oh, thank God I got rid of that. But now this breast lump has come. And then I understood the main important symptom is suppression of sweat or discharges leading to redness, congestion, burning, heat, aggravation, sun. All this is the symptoms of sulfur, no? Redness, congestion, heat, burning, suppressed sweat, offensive sweat, headache from sweat, etc. So you see, in this case, what happened that through physical examination we could open up the whole case, and suddenly once we touch that important symptom of the patient, the whole case seems to open up. No, this happened in all three cases that we saw. So you touch ascending stairs, suddenly the whole argentum nitricum picture comes up. You 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 touch restless feet, and suddenly this whole case looks like zincum metallicum. You touch heat, burning, sweat, suddenly all symptoms of sulfur start to come up. This is what is very important, to know which symptom to probe, how to probe, when to probe, where to probe. This is what we are going to learn in this integrative case taking seminar on 9th and 10th of September, where we will learn different methods of how to elicit symptoms from the patient. Hmm? To not get lost in the plethora of symptoms, to not get lost in the obstructions given by the patient, but to find a way out of whatever the case is, you know, to find a way out and to know which technique to use in which case. In which case should we use the sensation approach? In which case should we use the mind rubrics approach? In which case should we use the modality approach? In which case we should use the pathological clinical approach? In which case we should use the complete symptom, etc. So on and so forth. So that is what we are going to learn. We are going to learn an integrative approach where we will learn one tool by which we will know, in in this case I have to use sensation, in this case I have to use generalization, in this case I have to use keynote, in this case I have to use modalities, etc. Right? So that is what I had to share with you, friends, today. I really hope this helps you and inspires you to know the importance of case taking, and how by taking a very good case itself we make our analysis, evaluation, remedy selection, everything very easy and simple, rather than getting lost in all the data and not knowing what to do with all this data given by the patient. To learn many more such techniques of how to take a case, please do attend this seminar. See you all there. Till then, bye bye.